Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Normal is broke and common sense is weird, so we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network and the Fairwinds Credit Union Studios, this is the Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey, Dr. John Delony, Ramsey personality, PhD in counseling, a host of the Dr. John Delony Show, one of our most popular shows on the Ramsey Network, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jay is in Massachusetts. Hi, Jay. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for taking my call today.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I'm wondering if I should keep a certain amount of cash at my house. I had something that came up several months ago. Somebody asked me to transfer some money. I opened up my app, my Bank of America app, and everything read zero, all my accounts. And I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, well, maybe this is just, I can transfer it anyway. And I tried, and it says insufficient funds. And so I call them, and I'm on hold for 25 minutes, and then it hangs up on me. I try calling back, and it's busy, like the rest of the world is trying to call them at the same time. And finally, after about 45 minutes, it reset itself. And I'm like, I didn't have any money. What if I really needed money, and I couldn't get access to that?
Well, the problem is not whether you have cash at home. The problem is you're dealing with the world's worst bank. Bank of America sucks, as you have discovered, my friend. So, yeah, you need to get with a small-town local bank or a good credit union like Fairwinds Credit Union, and then somebody will actually answer the freaking phone on the other end. But Bank of America they're robotic and ridiculous. No, I wouldn't. The best thing you can do is stay away from them, like way away. Now, let's go back, though. Should you keep cash at home? You can't keep enough cash at home to sustain life if the entire banking system collapsed and you could never access your money again, right? I mean, so there's not enough cash for that. Besides that, cash probably won't work if that's happened because there's probably something else going on too. You'll probably just need bullets and water and gasoline at that point. But, so I mean, it's like survival stuff, right? Prepping stuff, that kind of thing. So, but do you want to keep some cash at home just for access? Yeah, I mean, what's the biggest possible event that if you had that happen again, that you would want? How much money would you want to lay your hands on, and can you do that safely in your neighborhood in a nice safe inside your home? How much?
I don't know, maybe $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, and so if somebody broke in and stole that, it probably doesn't ruin your life, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and get you a little safe of some kind. I've got a little safe. I'm a redneck. I've always got $1,000 in my pocket. That's a redneck emergency fund, right? 10 Uncle Ben's, right? Just to say I can. And so that, I need to replenish those after tips sometimes. And so I've got a little stack in a little safe. Nothing dramatic, but it just makes it a little harder. But if somebody stole all of it, it really wouldn't change my life, and this wouldn't change your life. Would I tell you to keep, $500,000 in home? No. No, I wouldn't tell you to do that.
Sure.
John, do you have $500,000 in your safe?
$500,000 nickels, maybe.
Nickels that your grandpa left you.
That's right. Yeah. No, Jay, I'm with you, man. Here's the thing. Most of the time, it's an illusion, and here's a better example. I got a buddy who's a world-renowned nutrition expert, and I told him I was taking some supplement and that I suddenly felt better. He laughed and said, well, the science doesn't agree with you, but here's what's more important. The placebo effect. The fact that you took this and you feel better is actually a net benefit, so I'm going to tell you to keep doing it because there's no harm to it. And so I know that having cash at my house honestly is not going to protect me from the meteorite, but it's going to make me sleep a little bit better, and that is in and of itself is worth having it around, right? And also, I like to get the random kid knocking on my door selling something. I like to blow their mind every once in a while, and so yeah, it's fun to have a little cash around. You can have a good time with that.
Give them 10 or 12,000.
Not that much nickels, yeah. Here, kid, here's 1,000 nickels. Carry it. Right? No, but I like having a little cash around. But I'm with you, Dave. Like you don't have $500,000.
Yeah, and again, if it depends on the neighborhood, depends on who's in and out of your house, and I mean, if you got people coming in there that are helping you or something like that, I don't want to create a temptation for someone and those kinds of things. So yeah, I would keep.
It makes me feel better, and that's okay.
And but if you take it too far, then it is an illusion,
right?
That it's real, that it really is going to fix everything.
When I went to buy my third deep freezer, my wife's like, "Hey, you're
prepping getting
reality.
out of control.
Yeah, right.
Your deer hunting and your prepping is both out of control. Yeah. That's a good thing. So, yeah, I would keep some around for that reason. But yeah, the big thing this whole call points out is you need to change banks. That's what the whole thing's about, really. I mean, really, at the end of the day, because honestly, that's the kind of experience people have had with the Wells Fargos and the Fifth Thirds and the Bank of Americas and so forth. They're just mammoth. I mean, Wells Fargo had 200,000 employees commit fraud. Employees. I mean, to start with, you got 200,000 employees, but you have 200,000 that, I mean, that's cray-cray.
Yeah.
Just how to put your head around that. And then you think they're going to notice you with your $8,000 in your checking account? They don't care.
This suddenly went to zero, which is your whole world.
Yeah, and it's doesn't even show up on their seismograph, right? So, yeah, I want to deal with enough of a click and mortar that I can get my hands around someone's throat. I mean, I get somebody on the phone, but yeah, I want my money.
I'm still old school, man. I still like to drive down to the bank.
Do you really?
Sit with. I do. I do, and it drives my wife crazy. But I still like to go down and meet with somebody. And those lobbies are getting smaller and smaller. The number of the staff is getting smaller and smaller. But I won't bank with somebody that I can't walk in and shake their hand.
Yeah.
Or that I don't have someone's cell number. Like it's my money, and for me, it's how I take care of my kids, man. And I think we are sometimes pretty absent-minded about it, just throwing it up to whatever online bank has the biggest, the best deal or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's a big deal, and I want to go shake somebody's hand.
Well, it is why that we have partnered up with, and now have even expanded the partnership with Fairwinds Credit Union.
Yeah, dude.
That's why, because they're just so cool. I mean, they've even done this thing. I just love this right here. So they've got a new debit card out with the Ramsey bundle. On the front of it, it says, "Dead is normal, be weird." Now, that's a piece of plastic that says "Dead is normal, be weird." That's my favorite thing ever, right there.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they are not there to put everybody in debt. They're there to just take care of folks.
Take care of folks, yeah. And that means they're gonna answer the phone, right?
And by and large, credit unions are really a good place to do that. And by and large, your small town, regional, local bank, that's a good thing that's a good place to park your money and keep your hands on it. But you need to be, like you said, thoughtful about that, not just. You don't have to be paranoid or weird or conspiracy theory or anything like that. Yeah. But that.
And I'm a bit of a Luddite. Like I know I'm an old soul, and I like to go shake someone's hand, and I know that's not a thing anymore. But there is this idea: just be thoughtful about where you're putting it.
Yeah. I always remember. Yeah.
You're about to say something to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. No, it didn't.
America, you just watched Dave Ramsey experience wisdom.
Yeah. No, that was just editing.
Self-editing.
It was good. It was really good editing.
Tell me an old man can't learn. That's awesome. I just felt it. I felt it. It was awesome.
What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 different answers. Economic growth or a recession? Business taxes will go up or down. AI will help us work or it will replace us all. But there's no such thing as a crystal ball. That's why more than 42,000 businesses have future-proofed themselves with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 AI cloud enterprise resource planning system. Ramsey Solutions uses NetSuite, and you should too. Whether your company's earning millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth for the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. NetSuite's real-time insights and forecasting help you see into the future with actionable data. And when you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you spend less time looking backward. and more time focusing on what's next. And speaking of what's next, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Ramsey. It's free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. Everyone needs insurance, but we all kind of hate it, really. You know, I mean, like, we hate it sometimes because we don't understand it, because we write a lot of checks, doesn't seem like we get anything for it. It's just a pain. But you know you need a good defense. And you don't want to buy the wrong kinds of insurance. So with a Ramsey Trusted Insurance Pro, you'll never have to deal with a sleazy business or slimy salespeople, because they're all interviewed, vetted, and coached to make sure that they're market experts by us who have your best interest at heart. You want to find out who's in your area that'll help you with your insurance? Yeah, and do the right thing and teach you in the process, all that stuff. Go to RamseySolutions.com/coverage and find the type of insurance you're looking for, and then connect with a Ramsey trusted agent. You can click the link in the show notes, too, if you want. Mason's in Huntsville, Alabama. Hi, Mason. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so my fiance and I are getting married in a month, exactly. So,
well, congratulations.
I just have thank you. I appreciate it. We're excited. I have a few questions regarding just making decisions for our future, making sure that, once we get married, we believe in what you guys teach. You know, we're a family unit. We want to make sure that us as husband and wife are good as a family before, we're, prioritizing our, extended family at that point. So my question would be, I have two-pronged question if we have time. My first question would be, my parents have basically a mother-in-law suite. It's a guest house on their property. They live on 5 acres. We have the opportunity to live there. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house for $250 a month for the foreseeable future, really. So my first pronged question would be, what's your opinion on that? I mean, should we think about doing that, saving the money up front? We have a pretty good income for our age. We're, both 1 year out of college, and we're 22 and 23. So that has, nothing, that would be a step up for us. To only have to
I think you dropped your phone or something.
So we don't sacrifice our marriage and live too close to my parents.
I can't, wait, the last part, I think you dropped your phone. What happened? Can you speak directly into it again?
Yes, sir. Yes,
oh,
sir.
There we go.
I am stuck.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you stay with us?
Ask that question again.
Ask the last part of your question. What'd you say?
I just asked your opinion on us living that close to my parents for, it is a small amount to pay, but we don't want to sacrifice, living too close to my parents and possibly, hindering our marriage because we're so close to them.
It depends on the question beneath the question. Like, it's costing you $250, but what's the real cost? If they're going to let you be married and not try to interfere with your life, and your mom isn't going to try to add a daughter to the people she gets to boss around, including you, then no, I would say go get your own place. If they're going to rent you a place in the back of their 5 acres and let y'all have your marriage and not require you to come to family dinners every night and all that, and they're cutting you a break to get y'all launched out, that can be a great idea.
Right. That would be more of the scenario that I think we would fall under because.
Well, of course, you say that it's your parents. What does she say?
Yeah, what's wife say?
Right. She actually agrees. We both agree that we would much rather have our own place. But my parents and Haley, my fiance, she gets along with my parents, and they don't have any quarrels or any kind. And we both agree. Yeah.
I think it's really important that you and your fiance sit down and say, okay, when we move in, we're only going to do 1 meal a week. And we're only going to do this 6 months. We're only going to do this. Y'all create some boundaries, and then if you're going to be a grown man, you're getting married, you're getting your own place, sit down with your parents and say, hey, this is important to us that we establish this. Does this sound cool with y'all?
Right.
It's the unmet expectations, the unmet, I thought you were going to, well, you guys aren't, we're doing this for y'all, and why aren't you doing this for us? That's what causes the problem.
Right. So it's not the proximity, it's the not having boundaries, and the proximity could be no issue if we set those boundaries and are firm with them. Okay.
The other thing is, if they become a problem, just jet.
Yeah, move.
Right. our other part with that would be, I do have a car payment that I am, heavily thinking about getting out of. She has a small amount of student loans, and like I said, we have a fairly good income for our
What is your
age.
all's income? You mentioned that twice.
It's about 95.
Good. That'll be your combined income.
That would be our combined,
Cool.
yes, sir.
And how old are you? And you're like 24, you said, right?
23, yeah.
No, sir, I'm 22.
22. Okay. Cool. Good for y'all.
Yes,
well
sir.
done.
I do owe $20,000 on my truck. It's worth about $24, and it's about $400 a month. But like I said, I currently live with my parents, and she's currently living in that house because she works closer to the city that I live in. But we aren't living together. But I'm paying my dad, like I said, a very small amount, $250 a month, and I can't afford the $400. But I mean, I've listened to you since I was young, and it's just been something on my mind to kind of get that out of the way before I get married and not have that payment.
Well, you're not going to make it by next week. Didn't you say you're getting married next week?
Next month.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to pay off $20,000 by next month, are you?
I wouldn't, but it's
No.
a possibility of selling it and then getting a different vehicle.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's okay. So you if you've been listening a long time, you know our general math rule of thumb is don't own vehicles, things with motors and wheels that add up to more than half your annual income. And so if her car is $25,000, then you're there. And I don't think it is. So, the second thing is if you can't be debt-free, everything but the house within 2 years, by keeping the car, then the car is too much. And neither of those are true in this case. You could be debt-free in a year, easy, and your truck is less than half your annual income. But it wouldn't kill you to sell it and get a $4,000 truck that's paid for, and y'all start your life fresh and just start stacking cash, man. Just start stacking cash and start talking about buying a house in a year and a half or 2 years and see how big old pile of money you can make because you're driving a lesser truck. That won't kill you. Either one is okay. Neither one is going to stunt your financial growth substantially. But what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? I'd probably sell a truck personally. But it's not like you're in the stupid column if you don't.
I did the exact thing when I was a few years into being married. Sold the truck and had to take a check to the title company because I was underwater on it. But I wanted to be clear of it. So.
What I would do is this. I would wait till you've been married 3 months and then make the decision.
It's a good call.
You don't need to make the decision right now with all this other stuff swimming around. Let's just get married, get settled in, get in the rhythm of life, then go, yeah, truck's going. Or, no, I want to keep it and I'll knock it out. Either one's fine with me. And, again, you need agreement from your spouse, not your parents on that. So, the big issue on your first question, I agree with John, is just can we actually have and set up an independent household emotionally and relationally with reasonable boundaries being in this apartment? Some people can. Mm-hmm. Truth is, not many.
Yep.
Not many. What would you say? 1 in 10?
I don't know.
2 in 10, maybe.
It depends on so many different factors. I think that this is one of those things that rarely is this the solution to everything. Usually when people say, hey, I need help with working on my communication with my spouse, usually that means I want them to do what I say, right? In this case, communication is actually the answer, which is make sure you're communicating with your parents, make sure you're communicating with each other, and you'll set up these regular rhythms where you can look her in the eye and say, are we still good? We still good to be here? And she's like, I got to go. And you're like, cool, we're getting out of here because she's the priority, your new wife, not your mom.
And where are you in the birth order? And you're the first one to leave home, break your mother's heart, and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff shows up in it. Yeah.
But $250 rent, man,
pretty sweet.
It can set you up for a totally different life if y'all can talk your way through this.
If you bank
and be
the
wise
difference,
about it. Yeah.
if you bank the difference, stack the cash, baby, stack the cash. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm just thinking our kids and the 8 grandkids are all within 25 minutes, and I don't just show up on their doorstep, nor are you mandated to do any family gathering unless you've committed to it.
If you say you're in, you're in.
If you said you're in, we expect you to be
We're
there.
ordering food, yeah.
But don't just go, no, I mean, we're freaking cooking for you.
It's not Ray Romano's family, right?
Exactly. No popping out here. That's popping in, popping out stuff. But other than that, I mean, we Have not had any major issues with that, knock on wood. There you go. Hold on, folks. Don't panic. Buying a home in today's market doesn't have to be complicated, but it does take more than hope and a quick internet search. To get the right home, one that will be a blessing and not a burden, you need a trusted mortgage partner who will listen and serve you, not push more debt. You need the professionals at Churchill Mortgage. I've personally recommended Churchill for over 30 years, and they're the only mortgage company that's Ramsey trusted. Churchill stands out because they operate the Ramsey way with transparency, integrity, and a commitment to doing what's right for the customer, not what's profitable for themselves. Churchill aligns with Ramsey's values by focusing on education, responsible mortgage lending, and helping people make smart, long-term decisions that enable them to build lasting wealth. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com today to begin a better mortgage experience. ChurchillMortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Maddie's in Minnesota. Hi, Maddie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Honored to have you. How can we help?
Okay, so quick baby step question. This is kind of flipping the script for us. We just started binging the show and starting the baby steps. I want to keep our somewhat new Toyota family minivan and snowball it, but my husband wants to sell it to become debt-free. We both have ADHD and get really into things, but then fail at continuing, like new hobbies, for example. And I'm scared if we go for a quick fix and sell the minivan, we're debt-free, we're good to go now. Whereas if we snowball this, we'll have motivation and experience living like nobody else, plus still have a more long-term car.
Self-awareness is a pretty cool thing. Way to go.
Thank you.
That's neat. That's very observant because that's actually a true statement about all of us, that if we get a quick fix, it doesn't stick as often as if we have to gut it out, right?
Right.
And so... yeah, that's true of all of us. So the van has how much owed on it?
20.
And how much debt do you guys have, not counting your house?
Just almost done with the student loans, $4,000 left of student loans.
So the van and one student loan.
Yep.
$24,000 and you're debt free.
Right.
Not counting
so
the house.
Theory,
Not counting the house. Yeah. Okay.
Less than a year in theory. Right.
And your household income is what?
160.
Do you hate the van?
No, we love the van.
You should not sell the van.
Yeah, keep the van.
Not because of your reasoning, but just the van it's not out of line in your situation. It's just represents a quick fix, but not because it's I wouldn't tell you. I think your reasoning is sound, but I think you ought to just keep this van just because it's a good van and you can pay it off pretty quick. And because here's what's going to happen. If you sell the van, what are you going to be doing? Saving up money, buying another van?
Right, exactly, yeah.
And you make 160 and you'll be able to do that pretty quick. And so you're selling the van, why? So I can buy another one in a year or in 8 months or something? No, that's a bad use of all your brain calories. No, I would just,
right.
Yeah, no, I would just buckle down and pay it off. And you will get the benefit of the thing you brought up while you're doing that.
Yep.
What do y'all do for a living? What's the 160 coming from? It's a great income.
Thank you. You'll be shocked by this. My husband is a social worker and I'm an artist.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so here's what's back to your original point then that is super valid. Neither one of you are, by your careers anyway, are process people. Okay? You deal with a lot of subjective things, not objective things. And in order to win at money, you have to develop some processes that you stick to. And that was, in a sense, what you said at the opening of the call. You said the exact same thing. with a lot of wisdom.
Yep.
Okay, and so
Thank you.
I'll give you an example. We live in Nashville, and so a lot of the country music people are my friends. And there's two types of country music people: the ones that are pure artists, and then there are those that are artists and actually have some business acumen. The pure artists are the ones usually get taken to the cleaners by some crooked manager, and the ones that have a little bit of business acumen become household names for decades.
Oh, thank you.
And
yeah,
so
I guess artist turned business owner.
Yeah.
Is my career. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're running a business.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Get a kick out of this. Maybe we sell custom paint by number kits of people's pets. So customers send us a photo.
Oh, I thought you were
I thought
you were standing in front of an easel. Paint by numbers is a process. This is awesome. Okay. You're making my point for me. Okay, this is
I bet
great.
George Camel has 50 of your products for his little precious dogs. That's awesome. Good for you.
Okay, now I get it.
Y'all need them. Have y'all ever done a thing longer than your marriage? Have y'all ever stuck to a workout program, a nutrition program, anything like that longer than your marriage?
For me, being an artist / business owner, but that's basically it.
Okay.
So that's a good point.
I want y'all to practice this like you're like it's a new muscle.
Okay.
Because you're gonna find your marriage is gonna get better on the back end of y'all grinding this thing out together.
Yes.
And we're not talking 7 years like most, or multiple years like most people who call. Y'all are talking like a few months. Y'all make a ton of money. Y'all can pay this off.
Yeah.
But I want y'all to
that's my
practice
thought.
building this muscle.
So I completely made the wrong assumption about you. Obviously, you are a systems and a process person, and so the very nature of paint by number. Oh my gosh!
But I mean,
And so-
but also like
that's gonna lend itself to the wisdom of her question, the way she posed her question. And so, yes, go keep the van, and you guys let that be the first part of your muscle of you working together, working money as a system, as a process. Let's build that muscle, like John's saying. That's the answer.
yeah, it's a good exercise.
Very cool. Good. I love it, Maddie. I love it a lot.
Self-aware people. It's one of my favorites.
Very well done. Nicole is in Ohio. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, I'm calling because my husband and I got married a year and a half ago. It's both of our second marriage. So I was married for 20 plus years, sharing finances with my former spouse, and he was single for 15 years, or divorced for 15 years when we met. And so this month is our first month having our budget meeting, and we make, I wouldn't say significantly different amounts, but enough for it to kind of be a difference. And so I just wanted to find out if I could get some suggestions on how to go about approaching it so that we can start saving for our dreams and goals and things like that.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, the fact that you've been through one that failed and he's been single a long time with no boss in his life except the guy in his mirror makes it harder for the two of you to just go, woohoo, we're both going to throw in and go, right?
Right.
If you were
Yeah.
22 and you didn't have any of these scars or any of these ruts where you were stuck in singleness for 15 years or anything like that, you would just jump in and go, woo, let's go. But you guys, this is going to be hard for y'all. Teaching an old dog new tricks is tough, right?
Yes, yes.
But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Okay.
Jesus said your treasure's where your heart is. When you agree on your spending, you're agreeing on what you value, what you prioritize. You're agreeing on your fears. You're agreeing on your dreams. It's not the money that matters. It's that we're agreeing on where the money's going, and that means we're agreeing on what's important.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. And that's going to be, there's going to be some polishing going on. There's going to be a couple of these rocks are a little rough, and they're not going to be smooth stones easy. You're going to have to hold your breath a couple times, girl.
Okay. Yeah, because he is the type where he wants to be, he's a manly man, if that makes sense. And so I don't want to be, I don't know if we should do like percentages or.
No. You need to do dollars.
Okay,
Manly
okay.
men work with their wives all the time.
And manly
Okay,
men
okay.
put their childish egos aside for building something that's greater than themselves, which is 1 + 1 = 1 when you get married.
Yes, yes.
And you have to have the courage when you're putting your money in the same checking account to say the words, "This makes me very scared."
Yeah, the last bozo messed me up, and you're not that bozo, but I still have that scar.
And a manly man wants his partner to feel safe.
Okay. Got it.
But there might. What you're saying is there might be a hunting rifle in the budget somewhere.
Yes. Correct.
That's okay. That can be there. And there could be a nice pair of shoes in there for you, too. I don't care. I just want you to be in agreement on it and not come in and go, look what I did, honey. No. We're going to be in agreement. We're going to decide in ahead of time what we're going to do. We're going to walk together because, as John said, 1 + 1 = 1. Actually, it equals probably about 5 because you get the power of synergy, the marriage advantage, all the data calls it.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. All right, here's the truth. I have great friends, a strong faith, an amazing wife and family, and I've even got 2 PhDs worth of information about how to be well. And yet, the times that I've spent with a great therapist across my life have made all the difference for me. The right therapist can change everything. And this month, my friends at BetterHelp are shining the spotlight on therapists. These are people who truly make the world a better place. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the largest online therapy provider in the world. And BetterHelp works. Their average rating of 4.9 out of 5 proves it. Plus, BetterHelp is totally online, so it's easy to fit into your schedule. To get started, you just answer a few simple questions, and they'll connect you with a licensed therapist that helps fit your needs. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch at any time for no extra cost. This month, we celebrate the therapists who've helped millions of people take the next right step forward. If you're ready to find the therapist that's right for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Visit BetterHelp.com/Ramsey to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Ramsey.
The Ramsey Show question of the day is brought to you by YRefi. Defaulted private student loans can drag on for years, but YRefi helps borrowers explore custom refinancing with a low, fixed rate and a payment you can actually manage. Go to YRefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. Not available in all states.
Today's question comes from Molly in Minnesota. Molly writes, my partner and I bought a house together, but I'm the one who made the down payment. We can already tell you we got a problem. He shares the monthly payment expense, but hasn't said anything about paying me back for half the money I put down. Okay. Should I ask him to take out a HELOC? Just, Molly, no. Y'all break up. Just break up and sell the house and move on. Should I ask him to take out a HELOC and pay it off to pay me back for his house, half of the down payment?
You know, what's interesting is this is the actual first time I've seen the proper use of the word partner.
Oh, like my...
This is like a business partner.
Yeah, and he owes me money. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I sleep with him.
On the building I bought. Yeah. No, Molly, y'all have got, number one, don't take off a HELOC. You're trying to punish him. Don't do that. Because y'all bought a house together, and so you telling him to take out a HELOC that he has to pay back actually puts your house at risk. Don't do that. That's silly. The bigger issue here is y'all have some major fractures in your relationship, and you'll need to address those on the front end. You should have addressed them before you entered into a legal binding contract called the purchase of a house together, but y'all are already here. Yeah, y'all got big issues. I don't even know where to start with this, Dave, other than just to say, don't do that.
Can I pull the pin and throw the grenade?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Here we go. You have two choices to fix this, Molly. Get married by Saturday and stop this shacking up crap because you're doing things backwards. or sell the house. Those are the only two ways you will survive this. Both ways you have a potential to survive it. But you're not going to survive it the way you are. It's not going to work. Because you entered into a business arrangement with a person you're sleeping with absolutely no written partnership documents, and this is going to go sideways, and you have no out when it goes sideways. He could just leave, and you never see him again, and you can't even find him to get the house sold because you can't get him to sign the deed. He could be in a car wreck. That happened to one caller. And she called me up and said, yeah, now I own the house with his mom. Because, by the way, he doesn't have a will either, because you people aren't real good about doing paperwork on stuff, I can tell. And so he didn't have a will, so guess who his heir is? It's not his girlfriend that he sleeps with, I can tell you that. That'd be his mom and dad. That'd be who gets the stuff if there's no will, the blood heirs. And so now you are partners in a house with the mother of a guy who didn't repay his portion of the down payment. Oh, this is not going to go well, Molly. People never, let me help you with this. The word was never. I didn't have a caveat. There was no except. It's a complete never. Capital Never. Buy a house with someone you're not married to under any circumstances. Period. Everything that can go wrong in this life will go wrong at some time or another, and you are stuck in a house with that guy. You find out he's doing cocaine. You find out he's got a secretary that he's more in love with than you. You find out, and you're just stuck with no legal or business recourse to get your little butt out of this mess. And you're just beginning to discover how uncomfortable that is when this one little tiny thing about the down payment didn't come up. Like, you guys shouldn't have talked about that on the front end?
I think they did, and he's just not, quote-unquote, paying her back.
Oh, but what happens when he doesn't do what he says he's going to do?
Then he needs to go take out a HELOC.
Yeah.
And
pay it back. And put it as a lien on my house. No, this is dumber than crud.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm deadly serious. There's only two ways to fix this.
I'm gonna caveat. I don't think they should get married. I think there's too many issues here.
I know, but I'm just saying to protect her.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know, okay. But yeah, because so at least when there's a divorce,
right?
She has there's a legal mechanism for getting rid of this stupid house. Jeez. But right now, there's no legal mechanism for getting rid of this stupid house, except getting rid of this stupid house. So, and here's another prediction. She ain't going to do any of it.
No.
So we're just telling you all these stories so that the rest of y'all don't do what Molly did. That's the only reason we brought it up, because Molly ain't going to do anything except what Molly wants, I can tell.
Oh, I wonder, can I ask you this? This is just fun. I wonder if in the state of Minnesota, I wonder if he would have... like eviction rights. Like if she went and dumped him today and said, get out of this house.
Who gets the house?
Who gets the house?
Who gets the French bulldog?
Who gets to stay? And then I got to give you 30 days eviction, and then you got to get 30 days, and it's going to go to court, and I got squatters right. Like this could get really messy really quick. Like, you know,
like spray can lines down the middle of the hallway. This is my half. This is your half.
My dishes. That's my half of the sink. No water on my side of the sink.
That's your Tabasco. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this is so bad, y'all. This is people acting like they're married when they're not married, and the whole system in the United States is not set up for you. Sorry, darling. The English law does not. English law is what we're modeled after, and it doesn't set up, with the exception of Louisiana, which is French law, and it's not set up for it either. So just to help y'all, that's the way the stuff is laid out, you're screwed in these messes. My gosh. All right. Carmen's in Colorado. Hi, Carmen. What's up?
Hi, how are you guys?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Thanks for answering my call. I'm calling in today because my husband and I need your help on what to do to get out of debt and start saving for a house. My husband is 22 years old. I'm 24, and we have a 1-year-old son. My husband is in his second year of electrician apprenticing through a union, and I just went back to work in July as a dental assistant. So my husband gets paid weekly. His gross pay before taxes on a check is about $900, but after taxes is like $696. And then, so for the whole month, it's about $2,784. I get paid biweekly. My pay for the month is about $1,500 to $1,800 a month. My husband pays all the bills, which altogether our bills are about $2,753. So with his check, as you can tell, we're left with maybe a few dollars after his check, after the bills, but including inside the bills, we have tithing, which is $240. So every week we put in $60 from his check to tithe. I pay my car payment, and then the groceries and gas, that adds up to
How much
about
do you owe on your car, hon?
So here's the stupid thing that we just did. I had a 2021 Jeep Compass. It was about $22,000 that I owed on it. And the car was getting too small. We couldn't fit the baby's car seat in there.
How much
so
do you
we
owe
got
on
a
your
new
car, honey?
$44,000 now.
You have to sell your car. That car is going to bankrupt you.
Okay.
That car is in the land of crazy. If you look up crazy in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of this car.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what me and my husband have been talking about, too, about selling his truck on
You
top
need
of
you
my
need to get a
car.
$4,000 car that you pay cash for.
Okay. So that's one thing, too. We only have $1,000 in our emergency fund.
Good. That's a good start.
Uh,
And you know your numbers. So even though he's been paying the bills, sounds like y'all are working on this together. That's really good news. You're doing a good job with that. Yeah, but the car is like way over in crazy land. Are you going to sell it or not?
Yeah. Well, you said to sell it. So
I know.
Yeah.
I said to sell it. I asked if you were going to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
This weekend.
Yes.
This weekend.
Okay.
Put a for sale sign on it. Let's go.
Okay.
Because the car owns y'all. You don't own it.
Yes.
And then that's going to free up so much. And then you guys keep doing your every dollar budget. We're going to give you a free year for every dollar. And it's going to give you a step-by-step thing of exactly what to do after you get out from under this car payment and how you can walk your way into some savings, out of debt, and start talking about building the life. Because right now, y'all don't make much money, but you're just getting started, and you'll get there. And he'll be making more money as he gets out of the apprenticeship. Right now, he's starving to death, though. Y'all will get there, but this car is way off the chain. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fair Winds Credit Union Studios. Dr. John Delony, Ph.D. in counseling, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. I'm Dave Ramsey. Brittany is in Indiana. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
Hi, great. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I am calling. We paid off our house in 2023.
Awesome.
And we have no debt. We are following your baby steps and your advice as much as we can. The reason I'm calling is we don't feel the sense of freedom, I guess, that we kind of expected or wanted because we're currently saving for a big home renovation. Our house was built in the 70s and has a lot of the original exterior components, and a lot of them are in need of being replaced. They're quickly going from a cosmetic need to those windows need replaced type thing. And we're still trying to balance the enjoying freedom with our house paid off with staying intense so that we can get that reno done and then really feel free. And I guess I was just looking for some words of wisdom or perspective on how to stay patient while you're saving for a big project like that.
Well, it is devastating that no matter what stage of money you get at, you find out it's finite.
Right.
It's just a pain in the butt. It doesn't matter what you're driving, that there's always another one to drive. It doesn't matter where you live, there's always another one to live. And you never really arrive at that. Contentment is kind of a bully in the schoolyard. It says, step across this line and I'll punch you. You step across the line, it backs up and draws another line. You know, it's a moving target, this contentment thing. And that's, you know, I've run into it too. I completely relate to the feeling that you have. It's like you kind of thought when you got here it was going to be easy.
Or you wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. You could just do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, and it's not you intellectually didn't think it was going to be unlimited, but emotionally you felt like you were going to feel like you were unlimited.
Like, I'm a millionaire. I don't have to budget anymore.
What was that?
It's like, I'm a millionaire. I shouldn't have to budget anymore, right?
Well, we do still budget. I mean, and
No,
I
know you do. I'm just talking about
the feeling,
the feeling,
the emotion.
Yeah,
it's annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, it is annoying, and it's also it's hard because we thought, well, we would be able to use more of our so-called extra money for things like bigger, nicer vacations with the kids and things like that. But I feel like
you could if you move.
Yeah.
Well,
and hey, I want to call out what Dave just said. Here's my promise to you. The day these renovations are over, if you and your husband don't get together ASAP and change how you experience the world, you're going to find yourself in yet another self-created prison. Because y'all haven't made the switch to, we are choosing to live in an old house, which means we are choosing to update this stuff. Some stuff has to be done. Some stuff doesn't, but we're going to. These are all choices. You're not owned by it.
Right.
Yeah, there's two ways to fix an old house. Fix it or move.
Right. If we were to move, I have considered that thought. Maybe we would be better off moving, but there's repairs that would have to be made regardless. So we're kind of.
Yeah, but the point is
I don't want to say trapped, but
the point is you're choosing.
You're choosing it. You're free.
You're choosing.
You're
free to make a choice.
Next.
Thank God you don't have this window project and a house payment.
Yeah.
You know?
And 2 car payments and student loans.
Yeah. You'd be what's known as up a creek, right? No paddle. Yeah, all that, right? It's the whole thing. I mean, so you really are, you kind of got to look back in the rearview mirror and go, thank God, I had a heat and air system go out on one of our properties the other day, and it was like $10,000 or something we had to spend. And I went, thank God that's an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's annoying versus a freaking catastrophe.
Yeah.
Which is what it used to be. Everything was a catastrophe. When you're broke, your life looks like a country song, Keep the dog out of the street, it'll get hit. I mean, come on. Everything that'll go on can go wrong. And so, yeah, the difference is something's annoying and has I kind of feel cheated versus a dadgum drama.
It's an emergency. It's that old C.S. Lewis quote that hell is locked on the inside. Like, y'all have created yet another prison, and then yet another prison, and yet it's going to be a pattern until y'all decide to exhale and say, we are free. We're choosing to live in this house. We're choosing to go through these renovations, and this is going to be a pain in the butt, and we've done it before. We can do it again. And you laugh, and you kind of get that snarl, and then you go get it, versus this is happening to us. We are stuck here. It's a victim mindset. It's a scarcity mindset versus no, we can do whatever we want, and we're making this choice right here. It's just a totally different reframe.
I think you're in control. You're making a choice. You chose to do the windows and delay the travel. And that's not a bad choice.
No, it's a great choice. It's an annoying choice, but it's a great choice.
It's probably the right choice, even if you turn around and sell the house. Like you said, we got to fix it up to sell it, even if we're going to do that. That's okay, too. That's all a good choice. The great news is you have choices.
Yeah, that's it.
For two reasons.
You got choices.
2 reasons. One is you put yourself in this position, and 2 is God chose for you to be born in America, where you still have choices, as opposed to someone just dictating to you what you're going to do. So, yeah, that's the cool thing. And I got to tell y'all, one of the things that I distinctly remember this, it's a dumb metaphor, but it actually happened. Because I'm the spender, okay, at my house. Sharon's the natural saver. I'm the natural spender. And so I'm reading these scriptures, and it says, godliness with contentment is great gain. And so I go down the rabbit hole. I start studying contentment because I'm like, where do you find this? I want to buy a box of it. I need some of this because I've been go get it, acquisition, my whole young life in particular, in my 20s, right? So it's Jaguars and Rolexes, and I'm gonna acquire. I'll be happy when. And the bully in the schoolyard backs up, draws a new line, says, "Come on," and you come on. He said, "Do it again." You never really get to hit him in the nose. You never do. But after we went broke, I went to Costco, where you can buy 25 pounds of peanut butter. And you can buy 73 of anything you need one of. And they check your little receipt when you're going out because it's federal law. You have to spend $200 in there. If you don't spend it, they make you go back and finish, right? And so that's why they check the receipt. And I distinctly remember, I can take you to the Costco. I had a spiritual experience. I walked out of Costco buying nothing. It was like a breakthrough.
I think there's a statue of you in a Costco
I think there's
somewhere.
a breakthrough. You know, it was like, oh, you know, I was like, I don't have to have any of this today. And it was like something snapped. It was real.
Yeah.
It was real. And godliness with contentment is a great gain. And I became convinced that contentment might be the most powerful financial principle. If you don't have contentment, you get into debt. If you do have contentment, you can save. If you don't have contentment, you're always at odds with your spouse about money. If you do have contentment, the two of you are just trying to figure out how much you can give away. It's a breakthrough. It's a financial breakthrough.
That's true freedom.
Like none of the other financial principles we teach.
It's true freedom, yeah.
It's very powerful. It's a great call. I appreciate you calling so much. I completely relate to you, Brittany. I understand your feeling. It's a very human feeling. It's a journey you're on, and you'll get there.
Y'all, do you want to know a game changer for your grocery budget? Start your weekly shopping at Aldi. Seriously, by making Aldi your first stop, you can easily check off your family favorites. From fresh organic produce to grass-fed ground beef, marinated, ready-to-cook chicken breasts, and high-quality dairy products. You'll be able to make incredible meals while keeping your budget on track. So no overpriced gimmicks or membership fees here. Now, real families like yours are saving up to $4,000 a year just by making Aldi their go-to grocery store every week. Find a store near you at aldi.us. That's ALDI.us.
Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market.
So many years ago, we came up with this great idea. There were these new things on your phones called an app, an application. So we decided that Ramsey should have an app that would do your budget. And we worked and we worked and we worked and we worked on it, and we developed, really, over the last decade or so, the world's best budgeting app, without a doubt. It's called Every Dollar, because every dollar has an assignment by you. You assign every one of your dollars a place to go, give it a name. Well, what has ended up happening then is that over the last 3 or 4 years, we've invested $1 bazillion in programming and in brilliant digital minds inside this building that do things I can't even spell, and have managed to integrate into it the whole Ramsey plan, the Ramsey way. So like you guys call in and ask us detailed, nuanced questions about what you do at this baby step, or what do I do there, what do I do there? And we've actually got almost all of that now answered inside of Every Dollar. So the all-new Every Dollar, we just relaunched it the other day. And it's a complete game changer. You can watch the premiere on our YouTube channel and see it how it works in action. What happens is when you go in, if you've been there before, do it again. If you've never been, go now. And get into the Every Dollar app, because what happens in just the first 15 minutes or so, you're going to find thousands of dollars of margin, and then we're going to start showing you how to apply it using the Baby Steps framework and the Ramsey way, so to speak. And the Ramsey way basically is we're going to take you from debt into wealth and generosity. Change your whole family tree. We want you to get there. And so imagine how much you could find to put towards your money goals. The all-new Every Dollar. It's here. Check it out. Jake is with us in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So me and my wife were 24, fresh out of college a few years ago. So we decided to build a home, our forever home. And the cost kind of got out of control. Our parents stepped in. My parents stepped in. Me and my wife have been blessed to have our parents by our side. They actually followed your financial piece back in 2000. There's a different story behind that, but they're they've accumulated some wealth over the years. They've handed us over a lump sum of money to help us build this house. And whatever's left over, we will pay back in a mortgage payment to them. Me and my wife make about $130,000 a year before taxes, with a commission bonus for myself at the end of the year. So my question is, and we do have a good amount of savings from the past years of working, about $120,000 in savings.
Okay, I'm sorry.
My
If you have
question,
$120,000 in savings, why the flip did your parents have to give you money?
they have been working so hard their whole life to set their kids up, and so they want to help every single one of their kids out. I'm one of 3 brothers.
Yeah, but you made
I'm
it
the
sound like
oldest.
you got in trouble and they bailed you out.
Oh, no, sir. No.
So
They
what
just wanna
happened with
help
the
out.
house? You bought too much house? What's the deal with the house?
Yeah, so we're building.
Oh, you're still building.
Yeah, we're still building. We're in the foundation phase right now.
Oh, you just started building.
Yes. So the deal was with them was we can collaborate with them. They can help out. I mean, we have a really good relationship with our parents. I work for them actually, and this is what they wanted to do for us, and so we kindly accepted it. And any cost after their initial lump sum that they handed over, we would pay back to them in a mortgage. And so I guess my question is me and my wife are still young. We're 24. We're not thinking about kids right now. Do we give up a lot of that savings that we have straight back to them at the beginning? Or do we have some of that, keep most of it and travel and have fun in our early 20s?
So do I borrow money from my parents when I'm newly married to travel? That's in essence where this lands. When I say it that way, does it sound as crazy to you as it does to me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. No. You like did grown up stuff and went and bought a house at 24 years old, pay for your stinking house, and then start talking about traveling.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
Very good.
The surest way,
my in-laws and
the surest way to blow it up is to have money in between you.
Okay.
And I know that's a weird, hard thing to say at 24, especially when you got 2 people who are like, no, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Just take it from 2 older guys. Clear the money between your relationship so that it can stay as good as it is right now.
Yeah, I think I heard a 2-stage deal here. Like they gave you a gift of a certain amount, and that even wasn't enough. And so then they loaned you more. Is that right?
Yes, they loaned us the full amount of whatever it costs for the house we're paying for it in cash to build. So they're not taking a loan out from any. They've been completely debt free since 2008.
I know, but you now owe them
a
mortgage payment. Okay, so that part where they went through Financial Peace University, they flunked the class because we tell you not to do that, ever. Don't ever loan your children money. Oh, my God.
Because it puts a wedge between the relationship.
Yeah, the borrower is slave to the lender. Now you have to eat Thanksgiving dinner with your master. Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be painful for your wife. Not going to bother you much because it's your parents, but it's going to be painful for your wife.
Understood.
Ooh. So how much money do you owe your parents that you have to pay the mortgage on?
Probably going to be around $200,000 to $250,000.
Okay. And how much of a gift did they give you?
About 50% of the total cost to build, so about $200,000 to $250,000.
So you're 24 years old, you make $130,000, and you got a $450,000 house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang, Gina.
Okay.
It's a lot of house, dude. It's a lot of house.
All right. Well, for sure, the answer to your question is no. You don't need to go on vacation. Yes, you need to take the $130,000, but I'm even going to go a step further. I'm going to put the $130,000 with your mom and dad to limit the size of the mortgage, and then I'm going to go get a commercial mortgage, not from your parents.
Okay.
Because I don't want this mortgage. I don't want you paying payments to your parents for any amount of money, for any amount of interest. I don't think you're going to do that because I think you guys have worked out this detailed thing in all of your heads that this all works out to the point that you're ready to go to Europe instead of pay them back.
But here's what I would say. I can see myself working really hard so that I can bulldoze a path for my son and his new wife. I get that. But if my son was to hand me a check for $130,000 and say, Dad, I've got this money saved up. This is the part of the mortgage. And then I want you to see here, I'm giving you the rest of it. I took out a commercial loan because I want to just stay your son. I don't want to stay one of your, I don't want you to be my banker. I would be so proud. And in a way, you're kind of not showing him up, but you're kind of saying, I'm taking the reins here. It would show a level of wisdom and maturity. I'm trying to give him as much grace as I can, Dad, because the arrangement he's put you in is madness. It just ends in somebody wanting you to do something for Christmas and your wife doesn't want to, and it's like, well, after all we've done, it's just a recipe for disaster. But man, if you went and did what Dave just said, go get a commercial loan for the rest of it. And by the way, that's a tiny mortgage.
It's a $120,000 mortgage.
It's a tiny, tiny, tiny mortgage. Just go do that, man. You'll have that paid off in no time with as much money as y'all make.
If you don't go on trips.
Yeah, if you don't go to Europe. And by the way, I don't know, Dave, trips are more fun when I'm older now. I don't know why. They just are.
Well, they're more fun because they don't follow you home. But in essence, that's what this ends up being.
So I don't have to have Sunday lunch with my banker. We're going to increase the amount
we borrow from mom and dad by the amount that we spend on the trips.
Yeah.
And so it's like borrowing on the trip, borrowing from mom and dad to go on a trip, and obviously that would be ludicrous. So moms and dads, those of you that graduated from Financial Peace University with a better grade than that mom and dad got, which was an F, here's the rule, okay? If you want to give your children some money and they pay cash for a house, and part of the bargain is they never borrow money again because you want your family tree to be completely changed, great. Never make your grown child, your slave. You change your relationship with your daughter-in-law, your son-in-law. You change the relationship in how you interact with each other. It's just you're adding layers to it that you were unintended, but they're very real. And no one is the exception. Even a nice master is a master.
Listen up, people. If your phone bill is more than $25 a month, you're basically donating to keep your mobile carrier's private jets stocked with caviar. But Boost Mobile isn't playing that game. Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. No contracts. No, we're raising your rate because we feel like it emails. Just a simple low bill every month. And because they actually believe in what they're selling, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't love it, get your money back for zero risk. Go to boostmobile.com/Ramsey to make the switch today. That's boostmobile.com/Ramsey. Restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com/Ramsey for details.
Tim is in Ohio. Hey, Tim, what's up?
It's Ken, K-E-N.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Kelly, it's Ken.
That's okay.
K-E-N. Okay. I was just reading my screen. Pardon me. How can I help?
That's no problem. Yes, Dave. So year and a half ago, I got into your program and stuff, and let me thank you from the bottom of my heart because that completely changed everything for me. And I'm married now, and my wife is 62. I am 55. And I work for the state, and I have OPERS, and we don't have a choice, we have to put in 10% of our gross income into that. And then the state also matches that 10% and adds 4%. My wife's 401k, they do not have any company match. Her late husband only would allow her 5 to 6% and not aggressive at all. So there's not much in there, but we currently have $27,500 in debt. There's $44,000 in that account, and then we have our house. And crunching the numbers and looking at things, if we take the $27,500 out of there and just wipe out that debt, that allows us to pay the house off in under 5 years and 18 months more of investing at $3,000 a month. Does that make sense to you?
She's 62, 6'2"? How old is she?
She's 62. So, yes, we understand we'll be on the hook for taxes, but we are
the 44. It's going to take the whole
44,000
to clear 27.
Okay.
So, or close. I mean, give or take $1,000 or two, but it's not. I mean, you're going to pay taxes on $44,000. It's going to be at least $10,000, right? Hello?
We would be in the 12% tax bracket.
Why, y'all don't work?
Yes, we work.
How are you in a 12% tax bracket?
Because of filing jointly, and you take the first 10% off of that, and then we go into the rest of it goes into the 12% then.
What's your household income?
About $75,000 a year.
Okay, I don't think you're doing that right, but I'm not a tax pro, and I can't do it I can't do it off the top of my head. Anyway, you're going to have taxes. It's going to eat up a lot of the $40,000, and so you're basically going to cash out her retirement at 62 years old, pay the taxes, no penalties, and pay off her debt. Yes, I would do that, but make sure you set this money aside for tax.
Okay.
And have somebody else calculate it other than you and me, because neither one of us are very good at it, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think you're calculating that right, but
anyway, but I think either way, you're going to use up most of it either way. So,
tell me the math behind that, Dave. Like somebody 62 going to go ahead and pull it.
Well, I mean, if you've got retirement and he's got a bunch, and they're going to, we don't tell people to cash out their retirement and pay before they're retired.
Right.
But at 62, your retirement age, and so you can pull it without any penalties. And I don't want to pay that 10% penalty, but you're going to pay your taxes on it. But like if we have somebody call in, they owe $300,000 on their house and they've got $900,000 in their 401k, I'll pay off the house out of that.
If they're 62 or older.
Yeah, because no penalty on it, pay off their house. It's what you saved it up for. And in this case, it's just a blended family, a second marriage thing, and it's just a weird little account.
Yeah,
it's not a big account, but it doesn't really change the principle. Is yes, if you have enough in retirement and you can clear all your debts and pay your taxes that you create by doing that, I would do that as long as you've got some left over. And of course, they've got all of his, and they're both continuing to work, and they're going to put $3,000 a month back into the program. So that's where we're going. Yeah, that's no different than, very, very good. Christine's in Virginia. Hi, Christine. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I recently discovered you about a month ago, and I'm hooked now on your little cult, which I'm happy to be.
Yes, we're going to send you some. We're going to send you some Kool-Aid here in the mail.
Awesome. My question is, my husband and I are in about $87,000 of debt. I'm 60. He's 62. I want to start your program desperately. We both do. But my concern is that of that debt, $68,000 is in a debt settlement program.
Doesn't mean you can't pay it off.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought, well, aren't I obligated to them for the 55 months I signed up for?
Nope. You've already paid them. They got all their money up front. The first handful of payments you paid them. They didn't. None of your payments, the first handful, went to the debt. It went to them. And then what they've done is destroyed your credit and have put you in default on everything, and then set up payment plans with everybody. But I would do it as a lump sum. I'd probably do it as a lump sum. What kind of debt? How much of the 87 is in that?
68.
Oh yeah, you said okay. All right. And what's your household income?
We make about $100,000 together.
Okay. Well, you may find that it's easier to just lump sum it and call them up and go, okay, help me settle lump sums on this rather than payments. Ask the debt settlement company to do that. How many different debts are in the 68?
let's see, I was just looking at it. My problem with them is that they're not doing very well. Because we've had them actually.
No way. I'm sure.
I was hooked. I was hooked, line and sinker. I will not lie.
Yeah.
It's been since January.
How many
and
debts?
they've only settled 2 accounts.
Okay.
Probably 10.
Okay. All right. And they've settled 2 of them. Okay. Well, what I would do is call them up and say, hey, I'm going to start advancing some cash towards this, and you're going to get more aggressive because you're going to feel my foot on your butt.
I don't have any extra cash to send them, though.
No, you do if you're going to get out of debt. You make $100,000, something's going to change. You're going to get on beans and rice and beans. We're not going out to eat. We're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless we're working there. We're not going on vacation. We're not spending any money on anything because we're 60 years old and deeply in debt. We got to get this crap cleaned up.
No Christmas presents.
Yeah.
We're sending cards this year instead of presents for everybody.
Yeah. Everybody, here we go. The worm has turned. Times have changed. It's about to change, baby. I mean, you got to get after it. And because you don't want to be 70 and be looking at the half this debt still laying there because you've been toying around with it. So, but go ahead and clear the other portion first, and then when you get to the debt settlement 68, then start being on the phone with them, going, okay, need to settle one more of these. Let's get some aggression going here, and it doesn't take 5 years. Then you can work through it in whatever period of time you work through 87, making 100, which hopefully would be working extra, selling stuff. Could be as early as 2 years, probably is a little more than 2 years to get through that. But you're going to have to be living on nothing, honey.
Blankets, sweaters in the house, all of it.
that whole thing. Turn the thermostat.
But like it's a mind shift, man.
You got to have to go. And here's the thing: as you know, you don't have a lot of time to do this. It's not like you got 40 years to figure this out. You got 40 months to figure this out. So you need to get with it. And you can do it. You can absolutely do it. But the debt settlement companies, boys and girls, the way they work is they collect payments from you for 5 years. The first set of payments they collect from you, they put 100% of it in their pocket while letting all of your credit cards and other stuff go into default. Then they go to the creditors and say, oh, these are in default. What will you take as settlement? And so even if you weren't in default, they put you there. That's their process. That's how they do it. And that's why we tell you not to do that stuff. If a washed up actor between a Snuggie ad and a gold ad on cable TV is pitching you something financial, stay away from it. I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I've taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like one of those, especially the ones that I'm like, oh, it's terrible, are people that call in and their spouse has passed away suddenly and they don't have life insurance. We actually took a question of a lady, and she had 3 kids, pregnant, and husband didn't have life insurance. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. Or even if it was opposite, right? If a mom passed away, there's a dad with kids and trying to figure out, how am I going to afford childcare? How do I outsource some stuff that maybe she was doing? And it just takes the grief and the sadness of something like a sudden death to a whole new level. Like when you have to think through, how am I going to pay my bills?
How am I going to eat next week?
Yeah, the middle of all that grief. Like it's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm like, so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Xander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance, and we keep re-upping it because I'm like, I just want it there. Like there's something about that safety of knowing that you have money if something suddenly happens.
And it doesn't cost much because Xander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs us stinking pizza.
It really is. So that is one thing to do, to say I love you to your family.
So we've used Xander for all of our family's needs for insurance for many years, including, of course, term life insurance. To get a free quote, go to 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Xander.com. Well, it happens occasionally. We've got one of our friends stopped in here. The one and only Tim Tebow. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, guys. So good to see y'all. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again. So we were just talking Papa stuff before you, as you walked in. Got a new baby?
We do. Almost 3 months old. It's crazy. Now I feel like I'm actually getting old. And
little gray in the beard there. You got to be
it
careful.
Is a little gray in the beard. My wife
look
calls
like
it
me
salt
for
and
you
pepper, though.
Yeah,
but it has just been such a crazy blessing. And, a lot of people ask, like, being a dad, is it a different kind of love than you knew? And I thought a lot about it. And I don't know, because the moment Demi said she was pregnant, I think I already felt it. But I'll tell you, what hits you is the responsibility.
Yeah.
Like when we get home, I was like, we got to change this cabinet. We got to change this countertop.
Yeah.
She could get injured on. She could do this. You're trying to think 10 steps ahead and 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
And that level of responsibility is surreal.
I always like to tell somebody, it's like somebody just adds 2 more plates on the squat rack, and it just it sits under you, and you're like, oh, this got heavy, right?
It is.
So
Tim
Tebow is a 2-time national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, first-round NFL draft pick, speaker, college football analyst, 5 times New York Times best-selling author. I think you've been on here 4 of those times, if I remember. So I'll take credit for a little of that.
You should.
He's the founder and the leader of the Tim Tebow Foundation. He and I have done some wonderful ministry work together in and around the sex trafficking world. Preventing that, obviously.
Anti.
Well, I mean,
big distinction.
Yeah, I mean, we're both share a love of several people that are in that space, and your team is in that space big time, and so we've had a lot of different things we've done together. New book out. Look again. Recognize your worth. Renew your hope. Run with confidence. Now, I do know you well enough to know the truth is that you don't just sit down and randomly go, oh, time to do a book.
Right.
That something had to be burning and churning inside of you that you couldn't not say.
Yeah.
And so where's that come from on this one?
It was really inspired several years ago, and I felt like I put it off longer than I was called to. And it was really first inspired at a Night to Shine. It's our worldwide celebration for individuals with special needs. And we were at one of the Night to Shines in Arizona, and it was during COVID. And so they're driving through the drive-through and on the red carpet, and we're celebrating all of these cars that are coming through, and a lot of them are Corvettes. And so all the kings and queens are in the back and cheering for everyone as this massive crowd is cheering for everybody. And there's a young girl in a red Corvette as it drives around, and she is just beaming. The joy in her life and in her heart and just oozing out of her is so contagious. And as the Corvette pulls by and I see the back of it, and I didn't even know our teams and partnerships with the churches were even making these bumper stickers, but I saw the bumper sticker, and on the back it said royalty on board. And I just thought, man.
Yeah.
That's somebody's daughter, right?
It is. It's royalty on board. And so it really led us down this track of really studying what does it mean to be made in the image of God. And so we talked to so many incredible scholars over the last few years and diving in. A lot of people talk about the image of God is rational, relational, functional, right? How we're rational beings, so logic and thought and all of this that God's given us are relational, meant for relationship with each other and for God, are functional to rule and reign. And I think all of those are part of it, but I think it's a step further and a step that's even more important. And that's when you really look at the image of blank that was used over history, especially in the ancient Near East. It was always a term used for kings or for monarchs. So Assyrian king, was made in the image of Bel, or an Egyptian king made in the image of Ra, gods that they believed in. And so when they would have heard that in the ancient Near East that we were made in God's image, what it would have come across to them is that it's a royal worth statement. And we have forgotten that in our society, that when we're made in the image of God, it's not just what we do, but it's who we are. It's the worth statement that God has given us. It's a royal worth statement that he loved us so much, he would create us in his image. And we have just forgotten that. And if you look at what's happening in our societies and around the world, if you look at the boys and girls that are being exploited or trafficked, or the loneliness or the suicides or all of this, it's a royal worth statement. We've forgotten the worth of humanity. We've forgotten the value of every single life. And my heart and prayer for this book is that part of it would be one of the most encouraging things that someone would ever read. But the second part will also be one of the most challenging things that hopefully, prayerfully, someone will ever read.
Yeah, so as you're talking, I'm thinking, the importance of hearing this, but that also means I've got a responsibility to every single person in my neighborhood.
Everyone you ever meet
is
made in God's image. And the encouraging part is we share so much biblical truth that should be encouraging to people. Man, I'm made in God's image.
Yeah.
It's a value statement for me. It's a love for me. But it also is why we argued and challenged and thought over and over about the title. Why it's so important to look again is to look again at who God made me to be. But then it also applies to every single person that I see, ever of all time.
Check that bumper sticker
your
on
friends
every car.
And your enemies.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Royalty on board.
Is royalty on board.
Man. Yeah. That's a profound call for this moment.
Yeah.
I think that you just couldn't have written it or thought it, and for what's taking place in our society.
Yeah.
For the divisiveness, for the demeaning and the diminishing of people that we disagree with, for the lack of value because of an argument or because of disagreement or because of a political stance or because of a background, and we diminish people. And instead of having a disagreement but still valuing people, you can do both. And as a society, we have to do a better job of valuing who God made us to be, but then also valuing everybody else.
Look again. You'll see the bumper sticker if you look again. Recognize your worth, renew your hope, run with confidence is a brand new New York Times bestseller. I'll go ahead and predict that from our friend Tim Tebow. Man.
Dude, I'm convicted sitting here, man.
The thing keeps running through my head is I remember even teaching teens years ago, you're a king's kid.
Yeah.
You're a king's kid. You're a king's kid. I remember a pastor teaching us one time, he said, in the Old Testament, in Genesis, it says, God created the heavens and earth and the stars also. That's the mention of the stars. And then he spends 35 chapters on Joseph. It's like, what's more valuable to God? Individual.
It's not even close.
It's not even the individual and the stars also.
That's right. There's
it's almost an afterthought.
That's right. There's only one thing that Jesus, as the Son of God, came to die for: people. And yet we put in place of people or above people our cars or our watches or our praise or promotion or recognition or all of these things. And when you do that, what you are doing, what's implied is how diminished people are, right? That they come after all of those things. And this is a challenge that you are more important than all of those things, but so is every person you see. And especially when you see people that are suffering.
Yeah.
And today there are so many people that are suffering. And how could we know the worth that God has put on humanity and not do something, especially when we know they're suffering?
So bring it down for the person who's the truck driver or the single mom who's balancing two kids that's listening to the Ramsey Show trying to figure out how to pay her debts off. What is the thing they can do in their community?
Well, it's
we can start foundations and big stuff, but what's something that a person who is just grinding it out right now in their neighborhood?
Don't look past, don't look away. Refuse to look away. Refuse to look away on that person that when you're pushing your kids in their stroller and you want to ignore them, say hi.
Say hi.
Value them.
Yeah.
Value people. If you're the truck driver, what's taking place? Well, how many kids are being exploited on that, right? Be aware of it. Talk to your teams. Talk to your supervisors. Understand the problems that are taking place and act upon them. And people say, well, what can I do in the macro? Sometimes it's hard to step into some of these fights because they're big, they're very hard, they're very difficult, daunting, and overwhelming. But all of us see people almost on a daily basis. Value them.
That's amazing.
Love them. Show them the worth because how do we know their worth? Well, it starts in Genesis that they're made in God's image, but then is brought full circle when Jesus came and died on the cross for them. And how do we know the value and worth of somebody? By what someone is willing to pay for them. And Jesus Christ, who has infinite value and worth, was willing to give his life in exchange for you and me and every person we ever see. That's how we should see them. And right now we see them through the faulty lenses.
Look again. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Dr. John Delony, Ramsey personality, PhD in counseling, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kim is in South Dakota. Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so we lived debt-free, had purchased 2 used cars. We followed your program since we had our daughter 20-something years ago, and have lived that way, but ran into a little snaggle when we were part of a natural disaster. And we had purchased homeowners insurance with State Farm and had a really high deductible because our opinion was we had enough money saved that if something happened, we would pay for it ourselves and not pay a huge premium. And so that's how we lived our lives. We don't go on vacations. We have one child who was in college, and we were paying for that with cash. She's pre-med, so she has to go to school for that. And so that's kind of how we lived our lives until the storm came. But the storm made our house unlivable, and so we had to go into a hotel for 2.5 years. And the insurance company did not pay us like they said they would, and so we ran up thousands and thousands of credit card dollars in debt to pay for food, housing, all of that stuff. And unfortunately, we tried to resolve this with them and couldn't. So we have an attorney who's filing suit against them to try to get our money back. But in the meantime, we're trying to dog paddle our way out of this. And at the same exact time, our child had to have open heart surgery. We had to take her to California, to Stanford. And we spend a lot of time, which I have no control over these bills, at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. So I never know how to budget because I've got hotel bills unexpected when they say you have to come to Mayo and you have to pay for those things. You have to pay for food when you're Mayo, gas. And so it's very difficult to budget. So I just wanted to know if there's something I'm missing, because sometimes you're too close to it to see it. What's the best way to manage this? Because I don't feel like I have control like we used to have. And I just wanted some ideas.
Okay. I'm missing it. So for 20 years, you were completely debt-free, and you didn't have any money?
Well, we did have money, but we used a lot of that to do repair up front. We became the bank of State Farm.
Yeah, I know, but how much? How much money did you have?
We had I'm going to say, saved up and not used for college, cash on hand, because we just bought this house, probably about $100,000 that we had saved up. Cause we
and so why did it take 2.5 years, and why were you not buying your own food while working?
Well, we couldn't pay in the hotel. You can buy food, but you can't cook if there's no.
Well, I mean, if it's going to take 2.5 years, why didn't you go rent something?
We tried. There wasn't anything available that met the physical needs that we had. We had moved our neighbor into our home who was 90 years old, actually she's 95, for end-of-life care, and we couldn't have stairs, and there were just requirements that we had that they could not meet. So we ended up in a hotel, and you had to pay for laundry. You had to pay for meals 3 times a day.
I mean, State Farm screwed you, but so did those decisions.
Yeah,
I mean, you quadrupled or 5x'd your cost, and it doesn't take 2.5 years to rebuild a house.
Oh, it's not even done now. I mean,
why?
Yeah, okay, so
I built an entire house in 11 months. Why can you not build a house?
I've got family members that just lost their house in Texas, and last night was their first night back. But it's been what, 4 months, 5 months? 2.5 years. Tell me about that. It seems like they could have knocked the whole house down and rebuilt
it. It was a natural disaster, so there were lots of building going on, projects going on. So there weren't a lot of contractors available. It was also during the time where you had high gas prices and stuff, and contractors didn't want to come out to look at the house if it wasn't something that they wanted to do because there was so much work. There was a lot of contributing factors. Also, the fact that State Farm was not approving things. You kept having to wait. They would make us do another estimate and another estimate, another estimate.
All right. So, but you stayed in the ditch rather than making a decision to do something completely different for 2.5 years. So that's what put you here. My goodness. And now the health, your daughter that's studying to be a doctor has had open heart surgery?
Correct.
So she's not studying to be a doctor right now. She's recovering, right?
No, the school's letting her stay in school, and she's trying to do stuff, online and submit things sometimes late. And
Did she have health insurance?
She has our health insurance, my husband's health
and
insurance.
And does it not cover the surgeries and the other stuff?
It covers surgeries, but it doesn't cover any of the other things associated with it, like hotel bills and gas and food when we go to Mayo, or when we had to go to Stanford. We were in Stanford for 7 months.
Yeah. So what is your household income?
For $188.
And you can't buy a hotel bill and go to Stanford if you make $188,000?
Well, again, we did, and put things on credit cards.
Why?
And,
you make $188,000.
Because we had a mortgage payment, and we had college tuition, and we had other things that we were paying. It wasn't, and we were paying, for the house while we were in the hotel. There was a lot of those, and I could sit here and go over a single bill, and you go, oh, that makes sense. But we're not extravagant. We're not. Give you an idea, like we canceled our trash service and gather up our own trash and take the dump ourselves.
Yeah, but hold on.
But didn't run sprinklers. So we're
here's the
saving
thing.
money.
Yeah, we're not trying to pick those apart. I think if I back all the way out of this thing, I think the part for every emotional health challenge, there is this distance from this scary, terrifying line called reality. Mm-hmm. And if you on my show, I say this probably 3 times an episode, which is, the life you had is over, and you got a new one now. And what most people try to do is keep parts or the whole of their old life going while navigating this new reality. And so, for instance, you were in a position when you were debt-free and had $100,000 in the bank, and y'all made $200,000 a year to fully fund your kids' college. That's a dream you'll have. It's a priority for you. If you can't afford it, though, you can't afford it, and that's a hard conversation with your kid. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the third month, not the third year.
Right.
I sue State Farm and I move out of a hotel. The third month, and if I have to pay for nursing home for the 92-year-old neighbor just to make me feel good about that, I will, or maybe not.
Or go to my church and say,
maybe I can't do this. I thought I could help this guy, and I can't help this guy anymore. I'm not in a position, because only the strong can help the weak, and right now our knees are broken, and we can't do anything. And so, no, we can't pay for med school, and no, I'm not living in a hotel, and no, I'm not putting out requirements for a 92-year-old neighbor that caused me to go completely broke and lose everything I owned. Because I stayed in a hotel 2.5 years longer than I should have. So I think you got to start putting some limitations on some of these things that you keep declaring as absolutes in this conversation.
The absolute is we got to have a place to live, and we got to keep our daughters healthy. And outside of that, I think everything's got to be back on the table.
And $188,000 will do those things.
Yeah.
Without credit card debt, and without parsing it out and parsing it out and parsing it out. Yeah. So, and just if it's any consolation to you at all, State Farm has a horrible reputation on claims. You're not the only one. So sue their butt. But I'm not going to wait around on them to fix my life either. John, I came away from that last call feeling like I was too tough on her, because she's been through a lot, bless her heart. And but there's some kind of a thing that I guess you can guide us through from a counseling perspective. I could do it almost from a business acumen perspective, but when tragedy occurs, not if, in your life, it's going to have financial implications.
Correct.
How do you, because I meet people, and she had done some of this. I mean, bless her heart, she'd been through hell. It's awful, okay? And so I should have been probably more sympathetic, but there's something that happens, and I did it, I think. I think I did it during bankruptcy. It gives us permission to be illogical in setting boundaries for ourselves. It's like, okay, this has happened, and so now all the rules don't count. Does that mean, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
It's like a human nature thing. I can think of times I've done it too. So it's not just poor Kim with the hell they've been through.
No, I've done it, yeah.
But there's also, how can we coach folks that are listening to say, okay, well, what should you do when tragedy occurs? Somehow you've got to you've got to truncate you got to cut off the damage, not expand the damage.
Yeah. The only path, and I've wrestled with this for a couple of decades, sitting with somebody whose life was going one way, and it was often started with my college students. Like, they would be having a plan to go do a thing, and then mom would get cancer. And they want to continue their degree in, molecular biology, but also, and it always came back to, hey, everything in your life is different now, and we have to start here. But I don't want to. You're right. It's not fair. You're right. This shouldn't happen. You're right. And yet, here we are.
So the old phrase is, you have a new normal.
You have a new normal. And so the only thing I've seen people do to be successful in my own life and folks I've sat with is this word that we have an allergy to in our society, which is grief. You have to spend some time just mourning this thing is over now. And now I have to move forward. I wanted to pay for my kids' college, but now my husband had a stroke and we've got to pay hospital bills. And I got to sit down with my sophomore in college and say, this blows up your whole life and I'm so sorry, but here's reality. And instead
I wanted to take care of my 92-year-old neighbor.
I wanted to. What a noble, amazing thing. And suddenly I don't have any money. I kept thinking.
I don't have a house.
I don't have a house, right? I kept thinking that in 2 more months, they're going to get this thing rolling again. And then 2 more months. After 4 months, 3 months, 6 months, I have to say, there's nobody coming. And we are racking up bill after bill at this hotel.
We State Farm ain't coming.
Have to do something different.
Yeah.
Right? And I was telling you off air, I had a family member that lost their house in the Texas floods. They lived in a hunting trailer for months because that's all they had. Not because they're noble or tough or anything. It's all we had. Or the alternative is I have to put myself in jeopardy in my older age and run up a whole bunch of debts I'm never going to be able to pay off. And it's that the folks that I see are able to experience tragedy, which we all will, and we talk about resilience, we talk about growing from, or there's a big word, post-traumatic growth, right? Those that I see make that move are the ones who can sit in that exhale, grief, and say, everything's different now. What's my next right move? And if you can do that, it's an amazing trajectory. If you don't, you drag that past, and it's this weird, I have permission to just go buy that meal. I have permission just to stay in this place for 2.5 years. I have permission to keep doing the awesome work I was doing with my elderly neighbor, even though reality says you can't afford it, it's not going to happen.
We're using her as an example.
Of course,
we're not picking on her. It's all of us.
No, I wouldn't wish what she's experienced on anybody.
Yeah, I do want to go back and lighten that up a little bit, but
it's
the lesson, because one of the reasons you should listen to the show is the lessons.
Right.
Not just the entertainment value of people's stuff, but you ought to say, okay, what's a lesson I can take away so I don't end up there? Well, the lesson is you limit the financial impact of the tragedy by restarting your life with a new definition quickly.
As quickly as you can get there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't feel your way into that. You start acting your way into that. The feelings will come later, up and down like a roller coaster, but I'm going to make the next right move, which is...
Okay, I'll give you an example. Here's one I do all the time.
Okay.
Have for 30 years. we're getting a divorce, and the lady calls and says, I make $30,000, he makes $100,000, and I want to keep the house for the kids.
I don't want to disrupt their life
I don't
anymore.
want to disrupt the kids' life. 1,000 times out of 1,000, I say, honey, you got to sell the house. Because the life you used to have is no more. You no longer have a $130,000 income. You have a $30,000 income.
Right.
And you can't afford this house. The kids are already disrupted.
Everything's disrupted. That's
it's
right.
called divorce.
Right.
And so they're restarting. The best thing you can do for them is to restart them on solid ground, not a sinking ship. And you trying to keep this house as a sinking ship.
Right.
So reset your vision of your life. And that's a little miniature one-off version of what we're talking about.
Or we talk to folks all the time who I was making $120,000. My company did layoffs, and now I'm in month 9 with no income. And they'll spin up a lot of activity. I've got on LinkedIn and sent out 10,000 resumes via email. No one's getting back to me.
So I think, yeah,
but
when
it's
you're
going back to that reality.
Exactly. So when you are restarting, one of the things you have to do is take inventory of what is still there.
What is still here?
The income. This is the income that I do have. And this is, I have, it's almost like count your blessings.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I do have to work with as opposed to what I used to have to work with. And what I do have is a situation in Texas where everybody got wiped out at once in that area. So finding a contractor is dadgum near impossible.
That's right.
And so I don't have an overabundance of contractors to work with.
Right.
Okay, I don't have that. And so what do I have? I got a hunting trailer.
I got an old hunting trailer with an air conditioner. I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to make a go of it.
And until we can get the contractors to show up because everybody else is in line. And I can tell you this. The city of New Orleans was virtually destroyed a couple of decades ago by a hurricane called Katrina. And there are Cajun restaurants all over the United States today from people who left New Orleans because they had to start over.
Yeah.
And they couldn't start over there.
I was in Houston. So many people came and said, new restaurant, man. We got to start here because my home doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. What my life as I knew it before, I have to restart. And in some cases, it's pull up stakes and go to a whole nother area.
That's right. Is that fun? No.
Oh.
Do you lose your family heritage? Yes. Do you weep? Yes. And this thing, reality, just keeps chugging along. Math doesn't change. Yeah. And it's hard,
and
but
so
it's true.
if you're in the middle of a storm, like poor Kim has gone through multiple storms at once.
Yeah.
She had like the perfect storm. It's awful. The only thing we can tell you is take stock of what you do have, not what you used to have, and reset a new vision that fits within those numbers. And the other stuff is you have to sadly say no to.
That's right.
I can't live in this area anymore. You can't go to this school anymore. I can't take care of this person anymore. I can't do this. I can't. And you're going to have a whole lot of can'ts. And that's what I mean by truncating. You're going to have to stop doing some things that you used to were able to do in order to create a new life with the new limitations and in the new situation that is healthy and that doesn't follow you around. Because if you don't, you end up with 2 decades to clean up the mess.
That the tragedy goes on indefinitely.
Until you stop.
Yeah.
Trying to recreate the old life.
Yeah. And this happens if there's an
It's
affair.
not fair, by the way.
It's not. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And this happens if you have an affair in your marriage. This happens if you lose a job. It happens to all of us multiple times throughout our lives. The quicker you can exhale, sometimes getting out a pen and a piece of paper, what is true mathematically? What's true? What do I have? What am I grateful for? I got a trailer in the back. I'm gonna have to move in there. And then that's the ash with which you plant the tree. And man, new trees can grow, but you gotta plant them in soil of reality.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Ryan and Amber are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing great.
Welcome. Where do y'all live?
Spring Grove, Minnesota, southeast Minnesota.
Cool. Well, welcome to Tennessee. Good to have you. And all the way here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$180,000.
Very cool.
Over 32 months.
32 months. Yep. And your range of income during that 2.5 years?
Started at 140 and got up to 180.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a construction superintendent for a general contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And I do ultrasounds.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Good for y'all. Very good. So what kind of debt was the 180?
It was our house.
Oh, look at it, weird people. Young weird people.
Yep.
Paid off a house early. I love it.
Yep.
So what's this house worth?
We were selling it right now and be right around 300.
Good for you guys. Way to go. And how much you guys got in your nest eggs already? Your
Just-
401ks and stuff.
Just a little over 200 right now.
All right. So you're about a halfway to a millionaire already.
Yep.
And you're, what, 30? How old are you?
28 and 27.
There it is. Not even 30.
I don't know
Wow.
if y'all didn't get the memo. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not able to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's different to be weird, but it's all right.
Well, congratulations. How long y'all been married?
4 years.
Okay. And
Yep.
2.5 of that, you've been tearing into this mortgage.
Yeah, yep,
So
and-
tell us the story. How'd you get tied into Ramsey?
My first employer had Smart Dollar, so got tied into that, and then followed the baby steps from there. So we originally bought the house, and we were working on like side projects in the house as a little fixer-upper, working on our side projects, and then the spring came around, like a year and a half into buying the house. Amber wanted to do some siding exterior updates, and I was like, so we had some money set aside for that, and I was like, let's just pause on that. Let's pay the house off. So actually it was, what was it for the months that we paid it off? It was 13 months. We paid off 132,000.
Yeah.
So we just paused all our projects and then put 132 away in 13 months.
Whoa!
That last year was really intense. Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
intense.
you just, okay,
Yep.
I want to get to these projects, so we're knocking this puppy out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, I wasn't on board at first entirely. I really want to do that siding, but there's a point where it was projects that we needed to have done and projects that we didn't need to have done.
Mm-hmm.
And when we sat down and Ryan's like, this is how much we're spending on interest, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just insane.
Eye-opening, yeah.
Over the life of the loan, how much you would pay.
Mm.
Y'all don't realize it yet because you've been married 4 years, but most couples get to the, I didn't know we could get through this after a major crisis. And y'all decided early on, let's tackle a big monumental thing that nobody else is doing together. Y'all don't know this yet, but y'all have proven to yourselves there's not a thing that the two of us can't lock arms and tackle together over the course of your entire marriage together. It's so, I'm gonna smile all day because of this. This is awesome. This is fantastic, man.
Yeah, there's so many good things that have happened to you, what you've become while you're doing this. So proud of you.
Have y'all got the siding done since y'all paid it off?
No, that's
Not
a
yet.
next spring thing. First, I upgraded my car.
Good.
I was driving an 08 Impala. It had, 210,000 miles on it.
210,000 on it.
That thing was so loud. It was very embarrassing, but you learn not to care what people think.
I love it. So, yeah, you needed a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
Good. So first goal was that. Then we'll do the siding next spring.
Yep.
And so we just start laying out. Now that we don't have payment in the world, we start laying out goals and knocking down goals, right?
Yep.
Yep, exactly.
Travel, car, siding, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
All right, Amber, let me ask you this. Okay, I've had projects that start burning a hole every time I pull in the driveway. That's all I see.
Yes.
I don't see the house. I don't
Yes.
see my awesome
Yes.
wife, kids. I just see that. But when you grind out another goal, I stop seeing it all the time.
Right.
Does that make sense? Has it become less a burr in your soul?
Yeah, it's like, it's worth it. It's like the house is paid for now, and I can wait a year on siding.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Way to go, you guys. All right, what do you tell people that are 25 years old and they want to pay off their house? It can't be done. America is dead. The capitalism is killing everyone. It's a systemic problem. We're all stuck. Oh, wait a minute. Hold my beer. Ryan and Amber just paid off their house at 28 years old. What do you tell them the key to getting out of debt is?
I would say by far the biggest key is to just forget what other people think about you. It's your own money. You're working hard for it. Live your own life. Live your own goals. I think we were listening to the podcast a couple weeks back, and Jade said it best. She said, biggest superpower you can have with money is not caring what other people think, and that's so true.
So you did have some other people that had some thoughts, huh?
Oh, yeah.
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 You definitely get weird looks, that's for sure.
Yeah, because people know how that y'all aren't starving, right? They know
Right.
y'all are doing well, and then they can hear your car coming 9 miles away. And they're like, hey, you can get a new car.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
hard. I mean, the temptation is definitely hard, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's worth it.
Because when you're making that kind of money, you can literally on the way home pull into a dealership and go home with a new car that day.
Right.
With just a signature, right? And to just go home and grind it out. It's so cool, man. Hey, who taught you both? Because this is and again, I'm kind of hijacking this call, this conversation. Who taught y'all to sit down together and to say, I want this, and the other person say, well, I want this, and we're going to talk about this not as enemies, but as, okay, we both want different things, but we're going to come to some sort of solution. That had to have been modeled somewhere for you, or y'all just are y'all even weirder than paid off house people. Where'd y'all get that from? Did your parents model that for you?
My parents definitely did for me, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say our parents were big models in that.
And somebody once told me, it's not you and him, it's not you versus him in a problem. It's you and him versus the problem.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
There it is, right
I know,
there.
but people told me a lot of stuff when I was 24. I didn't listen to them. So, man, that's so amazing,
That's
guys.
good. That's very good. Well done, you guys. All right, so the secret is not caring what other people think then.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then that frees you up to just do what you think and decide who gets a vote. And if it's not one of us, nobody else gets a vote.
Yep.
So who was cheering you on?
Lots of friends, coworkers, parents, of course. Our biggest thing is probably just how competitive we are, though, because we, Dave, not to like make you as an insult, but we would call each other Davish if one of us started slacking.
Oh,
yeah.
You're an ish.
Exactly.
It's like a Dr. Zeus character. You're an ish. Don't
Yeah.
be an ish. Ish is a wish.
Yep. Yeah,
I
was
like
pretty
it.
competitive.
That's good. Yeah.
Y'all aren't the only ones
Y'all
in
are
America that
nasty,
uses the
man.
name.
That's mean. Right there.
uses Dave as an insult, so
Ish.
you're in good company.
Yeah. That's good. I like it. I'll take it. My name gets used a lot of other
I was
ways.
going to
for
say,
worse
y'all aren't the
even,
only
so,
ones
yeah.
that use Dave as an insult, so
That's
yeah.
that's at least a positive methodology. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys. Very, very, very good job. So, when your mom and dad actually realize you're actually doing this, what did their face look? I mean, like, Mom, we just wrote the last check. We're done.
So my dad, I would meet him every week for lunch, and I'd always tell him like where we're at, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." Like that was huge, just to have that reinforcement all the time. But my parents actually paid their house off in 4 years, so I was kind of like, "We gotta beat that 4-year mark."
Oh, you are competitive, Dad. Nah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
Very
but
good.
gosh, can I just say this to all the dads out there?
How proud is he of that?
You want to have an amazing daughter that grows up into an amazing woman? Have lunch with her every week and never let her leave the table without you looking her in the eyes and saying, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
huge.
that
That's
right
huge.
there.
That's a superpower.
Your
It's an
dad gave
absolute
you
superpower.
everything, and you got to, man, you're going to have to get pants to go all the way to the floor now, dude, because you got yourself a rock star you're married to. It's amazing. It's amazing.
All right, you guys. I'm proud of y'all. We're proud of you, too, just like your dad is.
So
Way
proud
to go.
of you, man.
Ryan and Amber from Minnesota, $180,000 paid off in 32 months, house and everything. They're not even 30, and they're already halfway to being Baby Steps millionaires. They'll be there in about 20 minutes at this rate, making 140 up to 180. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, baby. That's how it's done. Our scripture of the day, Matthew 10:14. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off of your feet. Thomas Sowell said, you can't stop people from saying bad things about you. All you can do is make them liars. That's pretty good. As you well know by now, the Fed has dropped rates, and mortgage rates have followed slightly. They dropped them slightly, and mortgage rates have followed a little bit. 5.71 right now for a 15-year fixed. If you're financially ready, now's a great time to buy or sell. Buying or selling an affordable home you love is possible when you work with a Ramsey trusted real estate agent. These pros are handpicked to guide you through the market and keep your financial goals top of mind. Find a trusted local pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/agents or click the link in the show notes. Lane's in Ohio. Hi, Lane. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So me and my fiance, we're 21 and 22, still both live with our parents. We're looking to move out probably in May when she graduates college, and we don't really know if we should buy a car for her first or wait until we buy a house, but I don't know if we buy a car, if we'll have 20% down for a house.
You can wait on the house. You need to get a car first. It's okay. It's okay.
Right now,
It's okay to
she's
rent an
done
apartment for a
repairs.
year, and you guys save up some money. And if you use part of the money you've saved to buy her a car for cash, then you need to replenish that for your down payment fund to be full again. If that takes a year and you rent a little apartment for a year, that is not going to set you back in your life. You're going to be fine.
Okay. Do you should we put 20% down on a house, or should we try to just do an FHA loan?
Well, FHA has MIP, which is much like PMI. PMI is private mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance premium is what MIP stands for. And FHA is a much more expensive loan in all the fees and the interest rates than a conventional loan. So if you have the ability to put together 20% on your first home, you're better off to do a conventional loan than an FHA loan. But you don't have to worry about that right now for about almost 2 years from right now, because she's graduating in May. You're getting married then, sounds like. And then we're going to get her a car, and then we're going to rent for a year, and that puts you almost 2 years from now.
Yeah.
So
the thing you need right now is one of the fruits of the Spirit, a healthy dose of patience, man. You want to give her the world, you want to give her everything, and I love that, but slow down.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, man.
Back it off. Slow your roll. Nikki's in California. Hey, Nikki, how are you?
Hi, John. Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm calling because my husband and I are in a little over $300,000 worth of debt. About 120 of it is IRS debt, and my fault. But I know you say, do whatever you need to do to break away from the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
They sent notices for liens and levies and all that. So we set up a payment plan, but I am wondering how desperate we need to get in this situation.
Very. What's your household income?
We make about $350,000.
Okay. Why, pray tell, do you owe the IRS $120 then?
Well, okay, so I was previously divorced, and at that time, I'm a nurse now. I'm making money now, but at that time, I was not. I had 3 kids. I literally just put my head down and worked just to keep a roof over our head. I did not file taxes probably for about 4 years.
Okay. And now you've gone back, you've gotten remarried, and now you've gone and filed.
Yes, I went and filed, and then our income together is just way too much. So obviously we owed that first year. So yeah.
Okay. And what's the rest of the $300,000 in debt?
So we've got about 100 in student loans, and the rest of it is credit cards and personal loans.
Okay. All right. And so you've got $80,000 in credit card debt?
Yep, about that.
How long y'all been married?
We just got married in June of 23.
Okay. And who brought the credit card debt?
Well, so, we both had some. I had.
Has it continued to grow after you got married?
No, we've been paying it down since.
All right.
So we've gotten rid of several
All right. So here's where we are today. Today you make $350,000. You got $300,000 in debt. And what part of California do you live in?
The Bay Area, the most expensive part.
Yes, absolutely, you do. Okay. All right. And how much is your house payment?
$5,000.
And what's your house worth?
About $780.
And
we just bought it in 23, so we bought it for $750.
It's probably worth more than $780 then. If you bought it in 23,
well, that's what Zillow.
Well, Zillow
says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with $900. And what do you owe on the house?
About $620 maybe.
Okay. All right, so you guys are living right on the edge on everything. Everything's got a payment on it. Everything's locked down. We make $350,000 and we feel broke.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not a super expensive house for San Francisco. I mean, that's a cheap house, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? You're a nurse. What's he do?
He's a manager.
Manager. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is buckle down and live on nothing. Pretend like I am broke, because you are. And I'm going to cut up all the credit cards. We're not going to use them anymore. We're going to do a written budget every month, you and your husband. You don't make $350,000. You make $50,000, and you need to pay off $300 worth of debt. Or you make $100,000 and you're going to pay off $250,000 worth of debt and be debt free in about 2 years, starting with the blessed IRS, and then work your way through a debt snowball on the other stuff after you get rid of the IRS. But you guys need to go pay them like your hair's on fire and get them out of your life, because the penalties and the interest that they're charging you are the worst on the planet, and they have almost unlimited power to come and mess with your life. Even when you're on a payment plan, they might make a clerical error and put a lien on your house, even though you're on a payment plan. They can if they want to. And so what I want you to do is get them out of your life like your life depended on it. So I think what's happened is you guys are living a Bay lifestyle, and you're eating up your $300,000, and you're not making much progress on this debt. And I want you to live a lifestyle as if you lived somewhere else and didn't have a life, because you don't. You're broke. Act like it. And attack this debt with a vengeance.
Yeah, and I hear in your story, Nikki, and even in your voice, that fear of that single mom who has just put her head down and tried to keep a roof over the head of her babies during a really chaotic time. It would be easy to say you shouldn't have spent all that, yada, yada. I just want to say I'm proud of you for getting through that 4 years. And it's easy to think, I got my degree, I'm a nurse, I married a guy who makes a good income. Together, we have a good income, and to take your foot off the gas. And I want you to let that woman who's been grinding it out finally be free. And that means you got 2 years of hitting the gas. And I'm telling you, on the other side of this, with nothing but a house payment, making $350,000, you are going to finally feel that peace you've been craving for so many years. But there's no other way than through this thing. So just get through it as fast as you possibly can. No restaurants, no fancy cars, and everyone's going to be like, I thought you were. Yep. As for me and my house, we will not be owned by anybody. And one way, I'll say it again, there's only one way through it, only one way, and that's through it. Just get through it as fast as you possibly can.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.